Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to City Skylines. We're at the end of the last video. As I was watching the cinematic camera, I noticed we had a massive traffic jam somewhere, and I went in here and we were at traffic flow of 18%. And the reason that happened is because I had somehow at some point turned off despawning in Traffic Manager. I've turned that back on, and the city is slowly rebounding. It's probably we're losing so many people. We have a big death wave. We have a lot of people complaining not enough goods, not enough buyers for goods. But this should all rectify itself now that the traffic is clearing up. We're right back up to 82%. I play with despawning turned on. It's the way the game was designed to help deal with its own poor traffic AI. We still have a couple of backups here and there, but this has always been busy right here, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'm good with 81%, 82%. This just comes and goes. It'll get busy and then it clears up. It'll get busy and then it clears up, and it's been like that since I built it. So I'm not gonna worry about it at all. These guys will eventually get their goods. The death wave will get cleaned up. How many dead people do we have? Only 229. We've got quite a few crematoriums dotted around the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe only 8. And each one has 7 hearses. So yeah, we'll be fine. They're gonna, matter of fact, yeah, they're quickly getting that cleaned up. There's not nearly as many already. So the hearses are out doing their job. So last time, we mostly finished off our airport. One thing that I overlooked was just the final touch here of coming in and painting in all of our concrete. I also might want to move our traffic control tower down to this end. Where are our traffic control towers? Currently it's here, and now they don't have a clear view of the end of the runway, so I'm going to relocate that to there. And then we'll do just a couple of other little decorative items for here. We'll go right... Actually, let's see if I can get 3 lounges back here without it. There we go. I know they're different colors. I kind of like it when they're different colors. So we've got a huge attractiveness score. That allows us to crank our prices all the way up. If I cranked those down to where it had no impact, we would be at like almost 3,000. So that's 68, 68.50, 68.40, yeah. So 28.40. Yeah, I don't think there's a need to do that. I think we're fine as we are. We've already gotten nearly 50,000 more people flying in and out since just the last time that we were here. So hopefully soon we start seeing some usage here. I don't think I've seen a single plane come in through here yet. So I'd like to, considering we just spent all that money and time building all of that. There. Oops. Nope. There. I'm happy. So last time we were working on detailing a little bit of this over here, but what I'd like to do is see if we can't... one, I just realized they have no way to get back and forth between these. Just as I was saying that, I was about to say get people that can work over here coming from over there, and I realized that we hadn't updated our metro just yet. That's going to be a tricky one, is it? Okay. There we go. Just get up underneath, and it'll let you delete it. Sometimes you got to try a couple of different angles of approach, but eventually you will get it all. And then, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want the metro line. There we go. Cool. So, let's see. How do we want to do this? Right now, we've got it coming straight down, so I think we'll have it come down, make a really tight turn, and then come up and go into that one. Yeah, I like that idea. So we are going to use our freeform here. I am going to turn all of this on. And we're going to bring this over to about there, and then we'll use the curve tool to finish it off so that we get a nice curve here. And then for here, we will come down 1.5, come over 1.5, and then right back up 1.5. And then we'll go straight for a moment to there for now. And there for now. And then we'll just make a nice big curve to complete the two. Cool. And then we will set our route. So from there to there to there to there and back again. So now we should actually see people be able to use these terminals because they're actually connected to the outside world. They weren't before. I'm still seeing a couple of spots that we still need to paint in. I don't know how I missed those before. Probably when we were bulldozing and rebuilding and all of that good stuff. We have a lot of jets using one runway and one main taxiway. Keep hoping to see somebody coming over here. Oh my gosh, look how busy this runway is. Holy cow. That is kind of crazy. Just the amount of people leaving the airport. In fact, 95% of our flights right now, of the 53 flights we have, 96% are outgoing. So we don't have a lot of incoming, that's okay. So I've already got our services in here. We've got a school, we've got a park, disaster shelter, police, fire, all that stuff, even death care. And eventually this will expand to become a little town that just kind of supports all of the industries that are out here as well. But for now, we're going to try to make it a little area that just kind of helps support the airport. And we're just going to give ourselves a bit of commercial there. We've got a nice tree line to kind of isolate the area, and that tree line will continue all the way down through here, all the way up to the roundabout. Just to kind of isolate it from the airport just a bit, and we'll probably even wind up backing it off the airport. I believe the topography does something. No, it doesn't. It is flat right here, and that may be because the airport zone was originally a lot bigger than what it is. Now, speaking of, where is the airport zone? It's right where it needs to be. So, okay, good. So we've got a huge residential demand, so I want to start meeting that. I don't believe that these buildings give off a lot of noise, so I think, yeah, we're good having residential right up against there. So that should help out a little bit for the airport with not enough workers. We even already have a bus line that runs through here, through the residential area. Well, it has a stop in the residential area. And then goes over to the airport hub. But we also have this area right here that we can work on. It's just kind of out here leading to this roundabout. And I'd like to see what we can do with it. We've got a grid situation going on right now, but we don't have to continue that. In fact, and I'm always really terrible at doing this, I want to see... Oh, we're below ground. I want to see if I can't follow the curve that we have here already. For the most part. We may have to do some improvisation as we get closer to the roundabout. So I don't know that I want this to connect like there, and I don't. So we'll think about that one. But then, so that gets us one bit. So then if we do that again, and here I'm okay with this coming on into this road. That's close to a 90. I can live with it even if it's not exactly a 90. And then this will bring in to there. And then come up here. Grab this. We're starting to get really tiny sections now. Not quite a 90 there, and I'm okay with that being there. So what I might do here is just bring this straight down. Because we need some connectivity through here anyway. Not a lot, because I don't want these to be cut-throughs. But I think a couple strategic roads would be nice. And then maybe we just don't develop anything on the collector, or maybe we make that some commercial uses. But I kind of dig that. And then I just want to roughly repeat it on the other side. I don't have to get it exact. I'm fine if it's not exact. But I'd like it to be similar on the other side. And this is going to give me problems using that node. So let's go off of this one. So there. Two. Ooh. Okay. Let's go off of that one then. There we go. That works a little better. And then to that one up to there. And then just connect this down as close to a 90 as we can get. And then there to there. To right there. To right there. And then in. See, on that side, that connected with that road. On this side, it doesn't. Oh well. And then we will use our curved road tool for this. Again, I'm fine with them not being 100% exact. I kind of like that they aren't, in fact. You know, the guy driving the paver truck was a little tipsy that day. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. This one's a little harder to do. So maybe we need to come off of here and bring it around. Yep. There. And then that can come into there. And then we'll just probably be able to go straight down. Yeah. Bit of a sudden end there, but that's right. So we'll go there for a connection. We will do a connection here. And then we'll do another connection here. And then I just want one or two connections to the collector. We've already got a way in here and a way in here. I think that should be sufficient. So let's get our water pipes in, and then we'll check what our services look like out in this area, because we still have a massive demand for residential. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. And on around the corner. So, and then I think I can get away with just going under this middle one here. Yeah, that'll work nicely. Beautiful. And then up into here, I'm not drawing the straightest lines, but for the most part, we are doing all right. I'm almost thinking about, once the city's done, sending this to City Planner Plays for him to critique. I wouldn't mind giving some pedestrian connectivity through here just to kind of fill in this space, but at the same time, I think I'm all right with it. Maybe we could do a couple really large parks right here to fill in this spot. Like our large playground kind of there, and then I don't know that this, yeah, this one's not gonna fit. This one might fit over here though, where I put the playground. Alright, it's a huge park, but no, not quite. Okay, well, it was wishful thinking. So do the playground there, and we'll do park with trees on this side. There we go, we can get that in there. And now that makes me think I do need some pedestrian connectivity, like a bridge over this. Because we've got those paths there just crying out for it. So this bit will be easy. We just grab that node right there, and distance too short, really. I thought I was going to say space already occupied. There we go. We can get that connected there. And then this, man, that would be a really steep bridge if I went across right here, wouldn't it? Thought I turned my angle on. Will this even make a bridge? This segment? Or this type of path? I think it does. Yeah, it does. But I think it's just going to be way too steep. Oh, yeah, that doesn't feel good. Well, what we can do instead then of that way, what we can do is something slightly different. We'll bring the bridge. I would like just grid, not road guidelines. We'll bring the bridge here. So can I get over to 7? Can I get over to 6? No, 6 is too low. If I go here, oh, then I can get over to 6. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it to be too terribly high. And then if we kind of turn all this off. Can I do something like that? That's still awful steep, but I can live with it. And then something similar over here on this side. Just something that kind of curves down and comes down to the ground. I am hitting the wrong key, and we're going up instead. It's right there, and then distance too short, eh? If I do that, that looks weird, but I think I can live with it. I think that looks a little bit better. At least it hides how steep it is, and it gets us some pedestrian access from park to park. Let's look at our services out here. Healthcare is not the best over here toward this corner, so we could probably do with a clinic. So we'll get that in. I still have Anarchy on, so let's replace that actually against the road instead of where it was just then. Ooh, I did not respect my topography down here, did I? That's a shame. And then we need probably a firehouse. No, fire coverage out here is solid. Same for police coverage. What about death care? How are we doing with death care coverage out here? So we will throw in just a bit of death care. Schools overall are doing fine, though I think it would probably be a good choice to bring in a school. We'll do a school there. I don't know. Yeah, high schools are okay, so we only need one elementary school. And I know we already have a large playground, but we're going to put my favorite, the small playground, right next to that. And then we will zone a bit of commercial. Don't have a huge commercial demand. I just don't want to bring it too close to my roundabout for traffic reasons. So do that bit as commercial, probably some along the outside of this as well eventually, but not right now. And the rest of this will be residential. There we go. And I realized I could have done that with the marquee tool, but I always wind up missing spots or getting too far out and then have to de-zone something. So I just prefer to stick with the paintbrush tool. Just a personal preference. So I'm going to leave this bit undeveloped. We'll do trees and things to kind of spruce up the park. We'll wait and see about the rest of our trees once this all fills in. But what I want to make sure we have, excuse me, I have the hiccups, is, again, bus service. And we're not going to take it into town. Instead, what we're going to do is possibly, well, that's a shuttle, though. I don't really want to add a stop on my shuttle to the airport. We don't really have any bus service through here other than that one stop. So maybe we can add... Yeah, we can totally do that since that's our shuttle to the airport. We can add a stop there and a stop there. That was the same line, right? Yeah, this is a totally different line. That's not my shuttle, is it? Where's my... Oh, that's the shuttle to over here to this bus station. We have two different bus stations. So there we go. That's the shuttle to the airport there. And then we can have a bus line that services this whole area with the college and everything. Just bring this through every few blocks. Do we have anything coming over here? Oh, we don't. So let's back that off and then bring that to where it's coming up here by the park. And then across. So when we come back through, we're going to have to get this side too. Actually, we'll do this and then come up here. And this is going to be an area where I probably create 2 mirroring bus lines instead of just one that loops back on itself. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. You don't really need a whole lot of bus stops in this area because it's not... At no point are you really far away. Like, even these 3 are probably too close to each other. So let's bring that one out and go here. I just want there to be one really close to that stop. And I think those 2 might be close enough, or I could just move that one up, those 2 up. Yeah, I'll move those 2 up. And then over there. And then I guess this is how we can grab this area. Not the prettiest in the world, but it'll work. And what is this area called? Lakeshore. We will name that bus line. It should be this one. Lakeshore. There we go. And then let's, while I'm thinking about it, move these 2 stops. Hello. Drag a stop to move it. There we go. Just a little further in. There we go. Now that's a little bit... Why is escape not taking me out of the little sub-menus? Oh yeah, we got a lot of people wanting to head out over to the airport. Look at that. And wanting to go into town. So that works out really well. And then what type of... I have a policy, I think. Oh, a theme. Yeah, I don't know that I want to do the University City theme all the way out to here. So it'll give us the bookstores and coffee shops and banks and things like that. And I don't know that I want to extend that out to here. I think I'd kind of like it to have its own feel for this development. Yep, I want it to have its own feel for this development. How's our park doing, by the way? 50 visitors. Is it earning money? It's earning money. The city's actually... really healthy financially. We're bringing in just tons of cash, especially now that, you know, I turned traffic despawning off. Speaking of, yeah, see, that's fine. In these denser corridors, we have a lot of red, but traffic is moving. It's all moving really well, and I think a big part of that is because as I built this city, you should remember I had all of this built when we started the series. I wanted there to be a small town here. And if you're new to the series, the backstory is that there was this property that had sat undeveloped for years, you know, surrounded in the state with, you know, a few hundred miles that way, there's a very large metropolitan area. A few hundred miles that way, there's a large metropolitan area. But this prime real estate out here along the coast had just kind of sat undeveloped for quite a while. It didn't have the best train access. It didn't have the best highway access. It had just one lonely little highway kind of going through. And because of that, nobody ever really saw the value in it. Then along came the Umber family with their farm. And they're like, well, nobody else is out here. There's some lovely, lovely real estate available for dirt cheap. That just happens to be the perfect place for our family farm business to grow and expand. And so they came in. And I know we're not building it up in order, but we have a little town that kind of came up around it. And that kind of led the county to realizing that this was really good real estate. We've got lakes. We've got some real access that we could probably get some grants to expand. We could probably get the state to work with us to expand the highway, at least give us some spurs off into other areas. And we have a huge opportunity with these beautiful, beautiful ocean fronts, which, by the way, we had a meteor when I was redoing the farm. It was like an 8.1 meteor. Thankfully, it didn't flood everything. But, you know, they realized, and so a city of Westwood was incorporated and began to grow just for the sheer purpose of there was land here that could generate a lot of tax dollars for not only the city, but for the county and for the state through both tourism out on this area and industry out of this area. And of course, the key to it all was always a plan for a nice international airport that people from that metropolitan area over there and the people from that metropolitan area over there could grab the train and reach that brand new modern destination, either by train or even small just regional flights. So again, we've got regional flights, we've got national flights, and then we've got international flights all coming in and out of this airport, which is really great. And hey, look, they're using our new section. Wow, they're loading up. That means we're still sending more people out. We're starting to get balanced. 77 flights now, so we've gone up quite a bit. I think this area looks better having filled in some shops and things right here along the front of the airport. I just think it looks a little bit nicer. The only thing I probably should have done that I didn't do, and we're going to have to use some land that has been developed, but I'm okay with it. I think we should have a path connecting these two sides. At least one. I don't know that we need one here because the road doesn't quite line up, but it should line up over here nicely as well. Yeah, so I'm very sorry about your businesses, but I think that path will help somewhat for walkability in this area. So the last thing I want to look at is I've been keeping an eye all throughout on my transportation, and wow, surprisingly, no one is using this express. No, that really, actually, that's not that surprising because we've got a train right here as well, and it's a lot quicker to grab the train than jump on the bus. I put the bus service in because my thought is, you know, if you don't have as much money to spend, you're gonna, you know, get a bus ticket to the airport. You have a little bit more money to spend, you're gonna definitely want to spend that on the express train out there. And eventually there'll be a metro in between the two as well to kind of span that same price gap, because the train sits at the high end, the bus sits at the low end with the metro in the middle. Will they get used in the game? No, they'll just use the metro or the train, whichever's quickest. But our new Lakeshore route is actually seeing quite a bit of usage. Thankfully, no one stop is overwhelmed. But what I did not do is just put one particular type of bus on here. So what do we have? 144 across 6 stops. So we could get by with a regular small bus here, and that should be just fine. So I think that's a good place to wrap it up for now. I know last week's went really long, and I'm sorry, I just lost track of time. It's been forever since I had recorded or even played City Skylines, and I was excited to do so. Wow, we've got actually decent land value out here. I kind of figured that would stay really low land value. I guess with the parks and the schools and the services, yeah, they're good. Probably come up even higher if we paid for the policy, but we're not going to do it. For land values across the city, looking pretty solid. I like high land values. Some people like to keep them low in some areas. I like the highest land value possible because I like my cities to, never mind, be profitable. As we are suddenly losing $52,000 a week. The airport, it all hinges on that airport. We are making some off the school, but if that airport drops much below 80 grand that it's earning, then we're hurting. And of course, it always says less there. This number is just wrong. One of the two numbers is wrong. I don't know which one it is. But obviously, we can't be earning 180, 190 from planes and also earning 130 from planes. One of these numbers is the right one. And I don't know which one it is. I've never really understood the economics panel in City Skylines, other than the fact that I've been told that this kind of averages things, which is why your industries will show up as not profitable here, but then when you go and click on them, they'll show up as profitable, which it's really hard for me to click on because I did also zone in just some farming, just regular farming industry. So I think this is looking pretty good. I'm also thinking that one of the ideas that I had was to have these big warehouses lined up just along the backside here for every type of resource possible, since we're going to have a lot of industry out there. But then now that I think of it, that might be a good use, and that's why I haven't finished the airport fence all the way down. I think that this area over here could maybe benefit from a few of those cargo terminals as well, just to kind of make that transition from airport to cargo. And I know the area where I lived in Missouri, as you got closer and closer to the airport, it became less and less. There were pockets of residential, and there were even some farms and some light industry as you got close to the airport. But as you got closer, you just started seeing a lot of warehousing. FedEx, UPS, major distribution hubs, the post office, major distribution hub, and then just storage for a lot of different businesses, because we were also located right off an interstate. Not quite as close to the interstate as, or a little closer to, I should say, than this airport is. But, oh, speaking of, this is no longer a regional airport. This is now an international airport. Yes. Yes, there we go. With 92 flights coming in. Holy cow. We've, in this half an hour that we've been going, we've serviced another 200,000 passengers. So we're moving a huge number of people through here, despite the fact we're only getting 900 weekly tourists. So I don't know if they're coming here to catch the train to go somewhere else, or what it may be. But the airport is definitely getting used. And of course, this tourist area is seeing a lot of usage as well. I didn't realize that these were that attractive. I guess it's because we added the lounges. But we've got a lot of attractiveness right here at the airport to bring people in. There will be more. But it'll all be out over here, including, once we get to 90,000 people, the monuments. I know a lot of people don't use them. I love them. I think they're great. I like using the unique buildings, though I don't know that we'll get to in this build, since I did reinstall. It doesn't realize I've met all these requirements. I could just unlock them, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go through and get what I get, and that'll be that. But I think that's a good place to leave it for now. So we will switch over to our cinematic camera and get a lovely view of some hangars, which clearly need some. Oh, never mind. They meet up at a taxiway. I'm like, they need some concrete, but they don't. They're fine. And say until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.